Sell myself for chrome, I mix with color. Yes, I'm splashing in fashion, I can't take no loss. I rock Junior and wannabes, I got no loss. Yes, I'm splashing in fashion, let's get denim on rims on my car. I got a Republican doctor. Made my ass great again, my God. Know you mad now, enchilada. When bitches touch me, you get messy like soda. Sell myself for chrome, I mix with color. Yes, I'm splashing in fashion, I can't take no loss. I rock Junior, I wannabes, I got no loss. I put endless to denim on rims on my car. I got a Republican doctor. Made my ass great again. Bitch, don't make me wreck you. Don't stop. I'm number one, you can only be dosable now. I got a Chinese girl, yeah, she from Shanghai. She goes to bosses in New York, got good eyes. Know I love her, only saw her 2 times. Hey yo, even if my name was Natalie Nunn, you bitches still couldn't check me. That spirit to Chanel, they ain't nothing to see. Bitches on TV channeling me. Have a juggle bar, babe, I'm into landscape. I put on like earrings and Fendi. Then stamp the trench coat Burberry with a COMPETITION. Don't see any. Sitting under stars in the city lights. Baby daddy told me I got pretty eyes. Bitches only eating when I do screams. I stay with that Uzi, I miss +1. I was really in the field with Carla girl. Now it's helping campaign. Check in with that bird down when I'm in Harlem. My niggas are built like Virgil. I got that duffel. Ooh, everything we do, you motherfuckers do too. I be on it too. Everything we do. Rappers can't dress it, they just be hating. I never read it, but got other statements. Start wearing Capital cause it got basic. I still wear Capital, ooh, stop faking. I used to wear more number 9 than Asians. I mixed the Greg Lauren purple label. My closet 2 clutter clothes on my table. We wore that V-Long to it turn fake. I'm the reason why niggas let them go y'all bad. Those niggas doing it, but I brought that shit to the I made that shit. Yeah, I sell myself for chrome, I mix with color. Yes, I'm splashing in fashion, I can't take no loss. I rock Junior, I wannabes, I got no heart. I put endless to denim on rims on my car. I sell myself for chrome, I mix with color. Yes, I'm splashing in fashion, I can't take no loss. I rock Junior, I wannabes, I got no heart. I put endless to denim on rims on my car.
What's going on, Conscious crew? I was going to say TGIF, but it's actually Saturday. Technically, what is going on? I am so sorry for the delay. I was actually in here coloring my hair. I was coloring one of my units, my curly units, green, honey. Okay, so I had to wash this green up out of my hair and everything. She came out gorgeous, honey. So I don't know whether I want to be a ginger head hoe or want to be your old cabbage head asshole. Okay, so we just gonna be swapping and things when it comes to these colors, baby. But I'm getting my whole entire life. So you already know what the topic of this video is, girl. I'm gonna really not keep y'all long tonight, and I will be returning out live and in color on this Saturday, girl. We got a lot of things to get into, child. We have a big hot topics also to get into on Sunday. So make sure that you have your reminder and your thumbs up and your shares already out of the way, girl, for Miss Sunday's commentary at 4 p.m. Child, okay, it's already set up. So get into all of that, honey. And I'll set the watch page for tomorrow's for technically today's commentary and all of that good jazz, honey. But before we get deep up into this thing, go ahead and subscribe if you're new here. Hi, love all of you all. Also, make sure that you have thumbs up the video. Thumbing up supports and boosts the algorithm, but it also triggers up the notification system. So when you thumbs up a stream on this particular platform, it triggers up the notification system, and other Conscious crew members who have no idea that we're out live and in color right now can be personally notified through your thumbing up of a video. Okay, so make sure that you do that, whether you are a part of the Replay gang, or you are a Bush baby, or you're actively in these streets right now in real time. Thumbs up the video. Don't make me pull out Super Freaky Grandmama on period. What's out? Make sure that you have your notification bell set to all, even though they barely work. And share this stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, girl. Facebook, MySpace, the Bible Book, Twitter, the dark side of Tumblr, your personal OF. I don't give a damn where you lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're loud, live, and in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through. Okay.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh, and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you guys, let me speak to some of y'all coming in. There's too many for me to just speak to everybody, so I'm just going to speak to who I see. What's going on, the Gift and the Curse podcast? Hey, Boo. What's going on, Corinthia? Hey, Faith Speaks. What's going on, Demissus? Hi, Jerry. What's going on, Bezo Mars? What's going on, Rumors and Tea? Hi, Faith Speaks. What's going on, Patricia? Hey, Boo. What's going on, Teresa? What's going on, Adrian? Hi. Hey, Bezo Mars. What's going on, Miss Cooking Life? Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Leela. What's going on? Hey, hi, Kiwana. Hey, Jay Goody. Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, BJ. What's going on, Miss McGee? Hi. Hey, Leela. What's going on, Teresa? What's going on, everybody? Okay, hi, everybody. So, one church announcement before we get started. You guys know that I had one of the Conscious crew members, D, up on the panel on day before yesterday. We were getting into a whole conversation that was initially about Jill Scott, not Jill Scott, girl. I'm thinking about all the Soul girls. India Irie and her criticisms toward Megan Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe because of their controversial performances regarding this year's Essence Festival. And that led to a whole conversation and a whole panel discussion amongst Black women about modesty versus being provocative, okay? And D is going to be returning to talk to women, to build with women about this discussion about sexuality, gender, self-expression, conservativeness, all of that good jazz. And it's going to be a panel with women, okay? So if you are interested in being a part of that panel, I'm going to be an onlooker. This is going to be, it's 10 slots available. Well, 8 slots available. And if you're interested, email me at conscioutztv@gmail.com. The dates are the 12th or the 14th. For availability. We haven't decided yet on whether it'll be the 12th or the 14th, but it's going to be one of those dates. And once again, this is a discussion for women, about women, unto women, to wrestle out some of the issues in the women's community, girl. And it's going to be hosted and led by our wonderful, beautiful, and highly educated D, honey. I'm super excited to see this bill with y'all. Now, getting into the commentary, girl. So I spoke to the bishop on this Friday night, girl. I know some of y'all are like, what in the hell has hell frozen over? Well, if there is one, it indeed has frozen over. But technically, girl, in some mythologies, hell is in Iceland and not a fiery volcano. So, take that for what it is. But I reached out to the bishop personally because I wanted to ask him some clarifying questions because I did not know what his side was, and I needed to, just ask him some direct questions, okay? Surprisingly, the conversation was actually really pleasant. It was a productive conversation. And in that conversation, it led to me and the bishop having a conversation about my thoughts, okay? What I initially called him for, this led into a whole other conversation. And that conversation, the catalyst for that conversation was him asking me, why do I not like him? Now, I told the bishop in the conversation that I was hesitant to answer that question And to have that dialogue with him, because I just did not want to create a intensity in the room. That was not my intent. I did not call to fuss with him. I did not call to fight with him. I did not call to rumble in the ring with him. I was literally just calling to seek some clarity about a situation. And I know how he is. You know, he reminds us all the time that he's staying 10 toes down and he's a fighter. And y'all know I'm a dragger. So both of those energies in the room, I didn't think it was wise for us to have a conversation about why I don't like him. But he insisted upon knowing why I do not like him. And in that, he actually took my response pretty well. And I got to tell him that, you know, I got to be an adult in the conversation. I turn my personality on and off. I know when to be CTV and then when I'm being Davion. Okay. And I know the difference between having a persona and, you know, actually having an actual humanity. And so when he asked me that question, I told him that, you know, I don't know him personally to dislike him. So my dislike isn't anecdotal. My dislike is just based upon my perception of of the things I have observed in the media, the things that he has put out. You know, you all know the situation between Killer and Tarsha visiting the church and that leading to a assault that took place between the bishop and Tarsha. And I told him, you know, that that was one of my situations that I just felt like he could have handled better, because I felt like he could have, instead of enticing Tarsha to come up, considering that there was a robbery and that is an intense situation, that I would not have played into anybody in terms of inviting them up, considering that I had just had a gun to my face and my family had just experienced that, etc. And the bishop told me that there were things we allegedly didn't see, and that there were things that happened and transpired that we may not have heard audibly as well. And he gave me his rendition, you know, of the situation, and he pretty much felt justified in what he, you know, and how he handled the situation with Tarsha in terms of physically pushing her out of the sanctuary, etc. So I was like, okay, you know, that was his side of that. Then obviously my mentor came up and we had a discussion about Larry and his beef with Larry. And I in that conversation, I asked him, I said, well, you know, obviously we all know about the big fallout and the initial drama that played out, but we also know that Larry publicly apologized for hurting your feelings or whatever, and that you also publicly apologized to him for calling him the F word and all of that and blah, blah, blah. And then things kind of revved up again. And the bishop was saying that he basically felt like Larry started it and that Larry doubled down and Larry kept getting at him, etc. And he feels like the responder in the situation. And I was like, okay, well, okay, you know, that is what it is. And we also had a conversation about his attitude toward the media. And he feels like the media is very harsh and basically doesn't seem to recognize the fact that he is a human being, that his family are actually people. And while there is a visibility etc. And he is a public figure that he feels like he never gets the benefit of a doubt. He feels like everybody rushes to a narrative. Everybody rushes to give substance to these allegations, and that nobody is considering the possibility of his innocence, is even considering any other alternative, etc. And that he feels some of the commentary from bloggers and commentators lean into slander. Okay, now once again, I personally don't watch everybody that commentates on the bishop, so I don't know what the ratio is of content creators who actually just all out slander the bishop and the commentators who just report the news and also give their perspective and their opinion about the bishop, etc. The bishop also spoke about how he is a fighter, and yes, he's a Christian, he's a pastor, he's a man of God, and he loves God and he loves Christ, and he is a man who has self-actualized his salvation, but that does not take away his ability to stand up for himself. And he feels like being a Christian doesn't make him weaponless, and he's not going to shy away from holding people accountable. He's not going to shy away from swinging back. He's not going to shy away from those things. He absolutely believes that he has the God-given divine right to be retaliatory if necessary. That's his mother loving right, honey. It's his right, child. And I just kind of listened, and then there was like these moments where he kept using the word y'all, and there wasn't a y'all. For instance, he was like, yeah, because y'all ran around saying that I set up the robbery. And I was like, Bishop, that's not, ain't no y'all in that, because since the robbery, I reported that I believe the robbery was genuine. I said my criticisms throughout the whole thing have just been you wearing $500,000 or close to $1 million worth of jewelry to church, and this wasn't a secured building. We got to see these robbers were able to go in and out as if it was a shopping plaza, and I just didn't think that was wise, and I didn't think it was I don't think there was a lot of self-awareness in terms of really reading the room and the temperature of the culture, and considering that he's a sitting duck, like you're live streaming on a Sunday, informing everybody indirectly about where you are, where you can be found. They know if you ain't nowhere else, if they don't know your whereabouts any other time during the week, they absolutely fucking know where you're going to be on Sunday and what time. And because you're on the braggadocious side and you're flashy, people know what you have because you're willing to show that you are a man of wealth and you have amassed wealth, etc. So on those live streams, you can't just assume that it's just only Christians and people who want to hear about the Old Testament and the New Testament who watching. Opportunists are watching as well. Thieves are watching as well. People who hungry and who need resource are watching you as well. And they staked you out. They staked you out and they robbed you blind in broad daylight. And that was, another thing that I just did not think was wise on his end. And he really didn't necessarily push back on me against that, but I had to let him know there was no y'all in that. Okay. He also said he that while we had a respectful conversation, he also let me know that my lawsuit paperwork is is sitting in a folder, baby, and he got his eye on me. And if I slip up one time remotely and slip off into anything that can be penalized under a silver suit, baby, that he is coming. And I told him that I'm not worried about him suing me because I have not said anything that is punishable as it relates to a lawsuit. I've been a commentator for the past 5 years. I have covered very serious litigations that have actually seen the light of day. And I'm very strategic about stating what my opinion is and what falls under entertainment. And anytime I speak about the bishop, I'm always referring to sources and sites and you know, the federal government site, etc. So it's nothing that I have ever said that can fall under slander. And my opinion is also not punishable, nor is it malicious either, which is foundational in a lawsuit, etc. So maybe there are other people who slander the shit out of his ass, but yeah, you know, it wasn't no we, okay? He was using y'all, baby, okay? I'm a one-man army. I do what I do, and everybody else does what they do. What I took away from the conversation was Bishop. Now, this is my opinion, and this is my perception. He did not say this, but this is my interpretation. I feel like Bishop, we all know the Bishop has been through a lot. You know, he's been through a lot, and he's had a controversial life from the very jump. And this indictment, I feel, really hurt his life because it's been rumored and alleged, you know, that Asia, she separated for a time being. I don't know if his wife is back at the house, but allegedly, you know, she left at one point. She separated at one point. And then we have heard from him that, you know, he's lost his fair share of friends throughout this whole controversy with Tarsha and the controversy with the indictments. And we've heard from him in his videos, you know, that there's even been some distance between him and his mentor, Eric Adams, etc. And with all of that, I feel like it's put him on the defense, and he has a lot of bravado, and he says he doesn't care, and he says, you know, we can do what we want to do, we just should be mindful and be considerate of his humanity, etc. But at the same time, he says he doesn't care. And I kept hearing like both of those polarities, like I don't care, but then going out of the way to prove a point through lawsuits, proving a point through being petty and, you know, retaliating back when people say things or when the media gets involved. I feel like Bishop really just want to be loved. He wants what any other human being wants. He wants notoriety. He wants legacy. He wants to be a respected figure. He wants to do something significant. He wants to have an impact. But because of trauma, he may be going about that in the wrong way, because obviously he has an open case and the federal government feels like they have found inappropriate behavior on his part that he can be criminalized for. And that's what he's going through now in his case, is fighting those allegations. And he's in an open war right now. And I kept just hearing somebody that I felt just really want to be loved. And he's gone about it the wrong way. But when you remove all the bullshit and you remove all of the bad choices he made throughout his life, etc., we know that the bishop has done time. All of those things are documented, right? Those are not opinions, now. Rather, he will argue that he was falsely arrested and set up, etc. But we know there was arrests, there were crimes that were alleged that he committed, and he had to either pay restitution or serve time for those crimes that he were penalized for, etc. And but when you remove all that, he's just really a big ass kid. He's a big ass kid who just wants a fucking hug and wants to do something with his life. And he's gone about some things in a way that has led to his reputation being the way that it is. And I told him directly that my biggest issue with him was I feel like he never takes responsibility nor accountability. That I've watched him hold everybody to the fire. I've watched him hold everyone to the cross. I've watched him, have criticism as well about those who criticizing him. I've watched him, do all of that, but I never hear him talking about his side. I never hear him saying, this is where I went wrong. This is where I lost myself. I could have made a different choice. And once again, the Tarsha incident was one of those situations for me. And I still stand by that. But, he felt like she went toward his wife and his children. And because he was just coming off the heels of the robbery, he was paranoid, etc. And he didn't feel like he knew what to expect from her. And he ushered her on out of the church. And for me, once again, I'm just like, because of the robbery, for me, I wouldn't have even had tested or tried Tarsha if considering what I had just went through 2 weeks ago. Because he told me that Tarsha had a bag under her arm, and he didn't know what was in that bag. And that's why I said, that's why I don't understand why you antagonized her, because you just came off of the robbery. Here it is. You don't really know this woman. She visiting your church for the first time. There's an outburst and an altercation that you guys are going through. If you wanted to be truly justified in your feelings of fear and paranoia, etc., then the most appropriate logical thing to do would have had her to be escorted out, not to interrupt the sermon, to have a Old Testament battle with her, and to make this a David and Goliath thing. And so you can't have all of that. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's the accountability part, is if you scared, you got to act scared. If you feel like something dangerous can happen in a situation, which is basically what he's saying. She could have been dangerous because she charged at my wife and she had a bag under her arm. That's all the more reason why you should have never invited her to the front. And that's all people want from the bishop, is for him to take his share of accountability in whatever, to just take his responsibility. He did mention the Pauline Anderson situation, and it was a brief moment. He spoke about how she's misconstrued that, etc. Pauline and that situation isn't what she's narrating it to be. And then we had this really big discussion around, because I asked him what do you want to see? What would you like from what would you, if you could have your way, what would you like? How would you want this to look? He said he want us to do our homework. So then I said to him, but when we do our homework, because you do say that all the time, do your research. But then when we do our research, you don't like what we find, and then you get upset. So I'm like, tell me specifically, what does that mean for us to do our research? Because I know for me, I don't just be jumping up and just be talking about the bishop. I don't do that. I talk about him when something is going on. When something is going on, and I'm always reading and referring to articles, etc. So I'm doing my homework. Okay, I'm like, because there's nothing else we can do. Like, and he was trying to assign this level of integrity that really applied to journalists to commentators, because he was like basically equating commentating to journalism. And I was telling him being a commentator is not the same as being a journalist. Like, we are commentators. We have whatever conversation we want to have. We just comment about what's in the public. However, journalists take that extra route. Okay, they may entitle themselves or be expected to go really deep dive into the topics to get both sides, etc. But commentators don't have that responsibility to go talk to everybody in the room and to go find everybody's side and to report everybody's side. Literally, our job is just to have an opinion about what shows up in the day, what shows up in the paper today, what showed up in the algorithm today, or what's just on our hearts to speak, or etc. We have a lot more flexibility as commentators than journalists do. So that was that. And then I reminded him that, because even in our conversation, when I was asking him specific questions, he was saying, well, I'm not going to talk about that, or I'm not going to talk about that, or I can't talk about that. And I'm like, but Bishop, see, you tell us to do our homework, and then you also want your side to be out. But then when anybody asks you, and it happened in the Lamont Hill interview, it's happened in the what's the girl name from Breakfast Club who got her own show? Ray something, Angela something child. She in that interview, like every time it gets to certain things, he's like, I can't talk about it. But that's what people talking about. So you don't ever make your side available. A lot of times you talk around things, and we don't get a clear understanding, and you remind us that you have an open case, but yet you want your side to be included, but your side you can't talk about. And then you want us to do research, but you're not telling us what to go research. You're not pointing us in any direction. And then when we entitle a direction unto ourselves, then you're upset and you're mad. So it's just like the bishop really, he really just didn't know how he just, yeah. Yeah. But the gist of it was, can y'all be kind? And can y'all consider, he didn't say consider my innocence, but that was basically I took away from it. Can y'all consider my innocence? Can y'all? And I'm going to be honest, when I sat back, because at this point I wasn't CTV on the phone with Bishop. I was Davion on the phone with the Bishop. As I'm listening to him, Davion was able to say, well, that's fair. That's fair. You are presumed innocent until proven guilty. And these are allegations. What Pauline Anderson alleges is an allegation. What the FBI is pinning against you is something that has to be scrutinized, and you are presumed innocent until prosecutors prove their case against you. The things that are facts, and the things that are, speculative as it relates to Bishop, they are speculative. But, we know the reality of the fact that Bishop, because of Bishop's history, and he's not like one of the people who had a one-off, like he didn't just go to prison one time and it was what it was. There's been a lot of infractions. There's been a lot of lawsuits against him. There's been restitution, for crimes he didn't have to necessarily serve time for. There was crimes he served time for, etc. And now he's, facing an indictment, and there's a superseded indictment. And so for that, a lot of people, that would shred away at your credibility. It would make it impossible, damn near impossible, for the general public to give, Bishop the benefit of a doubt just because of previous pathology that seems to be repeating itself presently. And people in general never let you forget your past. So when something like what happened before is showing up now, yeah, you're not going to find a lot of people who are going to be like, yeah, the bishop probably is innocent, when they then go to do that research and that homework that the bishop encourages. And that research then leads them to, because I'm going to be honest, because he asked me, did you not like me before the robbery? And of course, I told him I didn't even know who he was prior to the robbery. That most of us, even though he may have been a public figure to some degree, that really a lot of us came to know him because of the robbery. That's how we all got introduced to the bishop. Like, we didn't know him from anything else. He didn't have a lot of publicity behind him for anything else. So the robbery was the context. And then from there, it just got worse. There was the robbery. Then there was the Tarsha incident that led to arrest and all of that. And then there was the Pauline Anderson lawsuit. And then shortly after Pauline Anderson lawsuit got reported, that's when the indictments came. And then as that's all rolling out, you had ex-campaign workers who were filing suits. You had, it just kept piling on and on and on and on. And then there was the beef with Larry. And then now there's the beef with Unhinged. And and then it was the hiring of Brian Ponder. And that, Brian Ponder got his own share of fuck shit. He's disbarred in one state from practicing law, and he has terrible reviews written up as it relates to his own professionalism. He has women citing sexual harassment and all type of things. These reviews are out in the open, and I'm just like, you got the nerve to be talking about me, sir? Like, make it make all the fucking way type of fucking sense. But moving along. So, it just. But it was a respectful conversation, and we were able to, have a difference of opinion, and I was able to on things. I was able to give him an and and accept that he has a side as well. So what I'm going to do is continue to report on everything that's going on. And I'm just going to remind the audience that the bishop has a side. There are two sides to every story. There's two sides to every controversy. There's two sides. There's always two sides. And as it relates to the Pauline Anderson situation, as it relates to the indictments, I'm going to report on those, but I'm also going to once again reiterate the fact that he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And that is very well a possibility that the bishop could beat his charges. This comes down to, once again, who can prove their side. Can Bishop prove his innocence, or can prosecutors prove that he's guilty? He may just continue to be a free man, and this may be able to be something he can put behind him. And the courts can also decide that Pauline Anderson is not going to get a payout. A verdict could fall on his end. Her case could be thrown out as well. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities. This is the law and all of that. And there were times in the conversation he felt like I was bullshitting. There was times in the conversation I felt like he was bullshitting as well. But it was a good exchange. It wasn't hostile as well. He was I don't oftentimes get an opportunity to state anything pleasant about the bishop. So what I can say is that the conversation was easy to have. He had his ego in the room, but he wasn't difficult to talk with at all. Really down to earth, charismatic, can even say charming. But and I have my opinions and my thoughts and my beliefs and my feelings, and he got his, and that was that. So let me read some comments. What do y'all think, girl, about the bishop wanting the media to soften up, girl? Okay, he want the media to rest in their femininity, girl. Okay. He wants the media to consider that he has a family. He wants the media to consider his side. Just consider it. Just consider it. That there's nothing wrong with reporting what people are alleging or what the United States government is alleging, but also report his side. But once again, the bishop don't speak a lot about his side. He says he can't speak on that side, etc. But the things that he has spoken about, because he has given his side about Pauline Anderson. So I'm gonna read some comments. Okay, I'm gonna send the link, Larry. Let me drop the link for Larry. Nobody else hit the link, child. And we had a big conversation around Larry as well. The bishop feelings are very hurt behind the Larry situation. He just felt like him and Larry, they weren't friends, but they met, they broke bread together. They had a good interaction. There was, so he felt misaligned when Larry imitated the way he got down on the ground when the robbers went up, and then he just felt like Larry just kept punching down on him, and he just didn't understand where that came from, because as far as he was concerned, like, he never had a problem with Larry, and he liked Larry as a person, and he just didn't feel like he understood where the energy came from, or he just feels like Larry is the one who jumped out of the window, and he felt like it was logical for him to jump out of it with Larry. And I think there's a conversation that can be had between the bishop and Larry. Not necessarily one about being friends, but there may be some space for them to talk about what has transpired with them and to hear each other. And I feel like the bishop is like very, once again, because he really wants to be loved by people. He wants to be accepted by people. He is an extroverted people person. It really hurts him when people don't think well of him, or when people mistreat him. But the general public will say, well, he's mistreated people. But Bishop has not admitted that he is guilty of the crimes he has served time for. His narrative is he was set up. There's been a witch hunt against him, that the criminal justice system is racist, and etc. And that he's an innocent man who's just really been rolled over and bulldozed over and ran over and smashed over, etc. So he doesn't feel like he's brought harm to people because those things that he's been accused of did not take place in the context in which they are said to have been taken, girls. So it's a lie. It's a lie, girl. Hey, doctor.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud, loud, and in color. You sound great.
Okay, cool. All right. First of all, I want to say that I think it's really dope that you and Bishop Whitehead have spoken, and it makes sense to me because of what I know about you. You just you're just a good person, and you like to get both sides, and you judge it however. So I think that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now the problem that I have though is this.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing you got to do is go to my page. The the first thing I did, about saying getting on the floor, it was a joke. I wasn't joking about him getting robbed, but I got that it came across as that. I apologize for it. He apologized for me. Life went on, but he got on with other people, including Fat Joe, also with some other people. I think Isaac,
D.L. Hughley, I think.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he said things that was not true concerning me. So I went live and I answered back, and it became a back and forth. I hate to this day that I did that because it looked like that I was with the foo la la.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just, I hate it happened, but it did happen.
Okay, so you were responding to him actually,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it kept building steam because y'all
Right.
kept responding to each other.
And then I jumped back on it when he got viral again for what he did to Tarsha.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed her. That life went on, but he would say things, and so I would respond to that. That was it. I hate I done it looking back because I know how he took it. But that was not me just coming after him like that. And I hope somebody is in the bushes and going to tell him this. I would tell him, but because of him being reactive, him spinning narratives and taking what somebody else say about me and pushing it like it's the truth without any evidence, I don't trust him. I wouldn't speak to him one-on-one. It would have to be another third party.
Yeah.
Because what he's saying that other people need to do is what he failed to do. Well, when I reported on him, I reported everything as alleged information, and I don't know, but this is what I heard, and this is what I think about what I heard. So I've done proper by commentary. I from the get up said my first initial post that went viral about his robbery was, "It's a shame you ain't safe inside the church." The folk coming in there doing that. I said, however, he does dress flashy, and I can see why people talking to him to get that. I never said it was fake. To this day, there's a few other people. I think the what's the lawyer woman I like watching?
Pam.
They never said it was fake, but he throws everybody into the same
category. Yeah.
And that's improper to do when you are asking to be treated specifically as an individual case, but you're taking all of us and saying that we said stuff that we did not ever say.
Yeah.
And I reported everything as alleged information. And then let's look at, I don't know, everybody probably don't know this. I hate to even bring it up, but that case where he filed against me, we responded. He just went back and amended the entire complaint what Brian did. Now I supposed to say all this other stuff and said stuff properly, where these people ain't even talked to. Not that I know of. And if I did, it must have been an alias, and I didn't know I was talking to them. So I'm like, okay, so what is it? What What is the main issue? Because everything you said in the original complaint, now all of it's gone, and the whole complaint has been amended and it's something
So
totally
it's a
different.
brand new complaint now.
Yeah, a whole new complaint. So I'm like, okay, so what is your problem with me? Because you're not coming after everybody the way you coming at me. So this is personal.
Yeah.
And I think you just revealed that by what you said, what he said in the conversation. I must have hurt his feelings because he thought we was cool. Number one, I didn't trust him. That's from get up from day one. I told my mentor that. As time went along, I would have talked. I don't know how the relationship would have done, but I just never trusted him. And one of the main reasons, number one, vibes. Number two, is his conversation. It was consistently harsh as relates to women and gay people.
Yeah.
And he was consistent, always, in my opinion, bragging about what he had and like trying to prove who he was. Well, see, I don't like people like that. Just be a regular nigga. Just be who you are. Don't come across trying to be self-righteous and perfect, because he did that too. It was a little fun in the beginning. Even on my story, if you go back, you'll see him on my story list. I took it down. We were in Times Square when he showed me his Bible. We could have been cool,
Yeah.
but it just went that day at the table when he said we broke bread together. I was like, dude. I mean, I got somebody who's like a family member who's a dude wearing black nail polish sitting right beside you. I mean, it was Buddha. Y'all know Buddha. Sitting right beside you at the table, and you talking about homosexuals like they dirty dog and stuff. No. That's not going to work. And you're not going to be able to do that on my watch as it relates to women or homosexuals. So that was just that. And that's where we went off. We could have a conversation, even after with all of this stuff, this banga, but we still could probably at least have a conversation. If a third party is there, we could, because I don't hate him. And honestly, and this is honest, if you meet him and just talk to him, he is going to be infectious, smile, laugh, kind.
Because I experienced all of those energies just on the phone with him. I could see the charisma. I could see the charmingness. I could see the things that would draw someone to him and would make someone kind of attracted to what he has going on or what he's presenting. I could see those energies.
Yeah. That no lie, you dead spot on with that. So I'm glad y'all talk. I am glad to talk, because now you know what I know, because I do on some level. I opened up my text. You had stirred me up so bad, and I started to text him, and I looked. I'm gonna read y'all his last text. Let me see. I don't know for a minute. Whitehead.
Thumbs up this video, you guys. Thumbs up, child. Y'all getting a Larry Reid exclusive. Y'all getting a whole exclusive at 1 a.m. child. Y'all get the intel from the conversation.
He said he's August the 21st, 2021, 5:24 p.m. What's up, brother? Haven't heard from you. Hope all is well. I said, hey man, great. I'm here with my parents. He said, okay, and then that strong arm thing. This September the 11th. 2021 at 11:27 a.m. What's up? What's going on, brother? I haven't heard from you, and give me a call when you can. Now, he had called me a few times in between their face, and like I said, he was calling me consistent because there were some stories, some things that happened. I wasn't, because of the vibe.
Yeah.
And I just didn't follow up. Yeah. And anybody that knows me, I don't easily connect like that. I laugh and talk with you in passing, but getting up in my life like that, the best way to do that, which has changed now, but last year that was still a thing. You got to have a sob story and really a situation for me to show up in a hero and make your life better. Yeah. That used to work. It don't work no more. But
I've been the last person to be able to enter into a doctor's life in a genuine way. So there's been no other person who could have done that over the last 4 or 5 years, y'all. Everybody else been a sob and a tragic story. Okay.
Okay, let's see how genuine it is. If you don't bring, I can't say it like that because then somebody gonna take that to somewhere. But you supposed to be coming to the event.
Oh my goodness. Well, now why you do that all the way?
Don't bring your ass down there and see what happened. But anyway,
Okay.
and, and,
Okay.
and so then, but yeah, I think it's good that you talk to him. I don't think
So here's the thing about y'all talking, right? I feel like deep down, and he didn't say this, so I want to be clear. Like he didn't say anything. So I'm just speaking what I psychically perceived.
Mhm.
I feel like deep down he wants to talk to you too. But like I said earlier on in the in my commentary, I feel like because he feels betrayed and he's on the defense because of the media, and then he lost a lot of people over the past year. He lost his relationship to his mentor, kind of got suspended. That's in a weird place according to him and commentary he's given. And then there was the alleged breakdown of his marriage with Asia. I don't know where they are in their situation, but allegedly there was at one point a breakdown. And then so he's spoken openly about feeling very alone through this
But
time.
see, all of that is the
And
truth.
he constantly brands this era of his life as his Job season, where he feels like naked, and he feels like the things he loved and have worked for have been stripped from him, and then he doesn't have the public on his side. And I feel like because he's experienced all that level of breakdown, that even though his heart might beat in certain areas, his ego probably is too defensive and he's too guarded to be vulnerable with anybody. He feels like he got to side eye everybody. Even in his and I conversation, like he was side eyeing me, and rightfully so. Like, I mean, like I haven't been a princess necessarily.
But David Beyond, he has to work through all of that.
Yes.
You can't have a conversation with I mean, for me and him to sit down, he can't come to that conversation. First of all, I'm not doing it by myself.
Right.
Have a third party. He would have to come with an open heart, like my heart is open.
Yeah.
He would have to be open, no judgment. Like him saying, do research or get benefit of a doubt. But nigga, you don't do that with nobody. You didn't do that with me. You let somebody come and said I did something to them at 15, then later 14, then later on 15, then later on 16, when I didn't even know them at them ages. So and you could have just Googled and figured it out. So why are you asking for something, the seed you ain't even planted to harvest? And you asking that for us?
Well, I took it a step farther, Doctor, in a previous commentary where I played his own words of him stating what his ex-wife accused him of, and he wanted the benefit of the doubt. He wanted, to be presumed innocent. He wanted, people to understand that the things she alleged were allegations and that they were baseless, and that CPS findings came back with nothing regarding those allegations, etc. So
conscious. If I was doing what he said I was doing, I didn't touch any of that. If I got on my platform, it would have went right into the community where he want influence and went everywhere. I never brought that up and went through that. I could have made that a whole show, 2-3 shows, and spread it everywhere and played those allegations. But I don't operate like that because it's baseless. Although it was him saying it, I mean, it's baseless and there's nothing. When I said what I said about these folks that had these are lawsuits I looked at, they were really foul. And I said they are alleged and it's their story. Tell me what's wrong with that when we're doing commentary.
It's not. And I told the bishop that. And I also told the bishop like when he asked me why don't I like him, one of the things I told him is that he's emotionally immature because he like I got the sense that the bit like he basically is saying I don't want to be a man about adversity. I would rather be petty. I would rather be immature. I would rather be retaliatory, and he justifies this that being retaliatory on those he feel are instigating with him. That's his justification to behave the so-called same way.
Well, since y'all have some kind of something now, I think that he could learn from you.
Oh Lord, no.
Because let me
I
explain.
wouldn't say we even have something now. We just had a conversation.
But the point is, y'all able to have a conversation just you and him. I wouldn't have no we could, but I wouldn't because it just ain't smart to do after somebody has said what he has said and pushed on social media.
And somebody who probably isn't at a place where he can really hear you, where he can trust, where he can give you the space to really be heard without asserting the narrative, without asserting his narrative. Because, like you said, it would take two to tangle, and both parties would have to give up their narrative to have a productive conversation and to hear each other. But what could you hear from him? Like,
but this is the thing. I don't need. I've done commentary on what was alleged.
Yeah.
I don't have.
So
he don't have to prove his innocence to me because it's just an allegation that I just talked about because he was in the news.
Yeah.
Now, the issue, if I look at something that he said that was not true, that comes straight up, this whole FBI thing, me being responsible for that's just a total 100% lie.
Yeah.
And he came up with that, or somebody told him his ear, something like that. I mean, that can be a conversation that we can have about that, and maybe about, why didn't we keep the apology that we gave to each other and just stop and never discuss anything else? Because the reality is, when he broke the apology, I didn't have to respond. I could have not. But I did, and I could have picked up the phone and said, "Nigga, we just apologize. What you doing?" And I did.
That's accountability. Wow, like that's major.
Well, I'm always do that. That's I live my life like this. But see, I don't see that, and I don't see him living his private life like that or this public life out here on the social media. That's a whole nother thing. He can't expect people to see him as a human when you out here acting like an animal.
Yeah.
And you got to work on that. And pulling away from me and Bishop was the worst thing he could have ever done, and then get online and dragging us. Because we've been in this social media space and be in the public eye at public figures for years. And just the way that he moved, he could have had the world eaten out of his hand. He was robbed. Whether folks said it was fake or not, everybody was believing it. The high ups were believing it. So they had no reason not to believe it. He could have had the world eaten out of his hand. The first mistake he made is he lost his cool with me and Genesis. Because when that happened, that went farther than a robbery. And then he became all of this other stuff that they were saying in the media about him prior. And he just never able to rebound.
And from there, it got worse because it was the incident with Tasha that followed up, and it just kept getting worse. Like all the publicity behind him just kept getting worse and worse and worse. After the Pauline Anderson lawsuit, like a month or two, maybe three, was the indictment.
That's not true. Killer saying no one believed him. That is not true. Y'all got to remember.
Yeah, because I believe him. So people did believe,
but not just that. If I'm saying the House believe him, do y'all know what my name is? And I hate to say lost
that part.
They believed that robbery, but his actions snatched it out his hand. I would call one platform right now that's on TV. He was supposed to be there.
Wow. Wow.
The people on see YouTube is not real. I'm just gonna tell y'all that.
It's not the complete world.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. All that stuff they did to me for how long, how many months? I built my platform on social media. Let me tell you this, the way I have built my platform. If I had been inappropriate with somebody that was whatever age they has said, I could have told my folk and said that's what I done, and I done it at this time, and I was out of my mind or whatever. And I would have kept on moving because I built my platform on being real. So there ain't nothing that nobody can do online that is going to really affect my real life because I tell everything all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why social media works for me in my real life, because what I do online is my real life.
Talk about it.
But most of the people here, all these platforms that talk about other people, y'all don't know nothing about their life. You know all my life. They hide, they keep stuff private. You don't know nothing. It's because it's not their real life. Well, I wasn't able to build my churches like that. I wasn't able to build my marriage that I was in like that. No relationship I build like that.
Yeah. But see, people like us are an anomaly because the majority are the opposite of what we're talking about. So they even will lump us into the majority because the larger group kind of speaks for everybody. So if the majority of people in the room are out of touch, then the people in the room who are in touch won't be given the benefit of a doubt either because they're too adjacent to the space where all the unconsciousness is. So they, so when there are authentic people in social media spaces as influencers operating out of their authenticity, it is really messed up and unfortunate that the majority kind of ends up speaking and painting a picture for everybody in these spaces. Right. We're all not equal. We're all not the same.
We're not.
A lot of other mother lovers do. I don't.
Hold on. This B woke said it's still wrong, Larry. Okay, this is why you got to repeat stuff because folks that get crazy stuff in their ear. I did not say I did that. I did not do that to that person or anybody on the face of the earth. Was the same thing I told Unhinged when she called me. It just did not happen. If y'all want me to confess of something else, I mean, just ask me whatever you want me to confess. But I'm not
sure that they're talking about.
That's what she said. Conan, I scrolled down. She said, "Still wrong, Larry," and she said it was inappropriate.
With authority.
That's what I'm thinking. She talking about. Oh, she talking about. Oh, okay.
A lot more. Yeah, I was like,
sorry.
Yeah, you can't just be. Kaya, stay about the comment section. Comment section, Kaya.
Look, but you know, I'm sorry to be woke. You know, I get a little trigger happy when I start talking something. I'm so sorry.
I told y'all I'm gonna be Larry's handler, y'all. So don't worry. We're gonna keep it on track, y'all.
I have changed a lot on CTV. I'm no people. Wait a minute.
I will be the judge of that, Larry.
Okay. You gonna make me say I ain't got no business on this thing. But I am not the same person I was back when Unhinged and all. Let me explain something. I told I lost my mind around between May, June, all the way by August last year. When I say lost my mind, let me qualify it. My judgment wasn't that good because I had a $1.2 million responsibility over my head for 45 days. And it made me sick. And I wasn't supposed to do nothing until December 2022, but I went right back to working because I had to. So all those relationships that you saw me go in and out of, and everybody like, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's because I would just been my open heart self. I'm not that person anymore. That is over. So ain't no one about to have. If anything ever come out with somebody else or something, whatever, that's from 2022 and before. But 2023, I came in with clarity and bringing closure to that kind of going on. And don't nobody get no access like that to me, except I'm telling the only people that get access like that to me is my patrons, stakeholders, high performers, and that's it. and these contractors that I work with. That's it. My real family, folk I've been on. Aside from you, Conscious, I've been knowing you some years now. You and there about one or two other people I can count on my hand that I have known less than like 10 years. But everybody else, I've been on 20, 30 years. Aside from the folk and my stakeholders and high performers and partners, anybody else getting access to me for nothing. Ever again.
And the LRs and Conscious Crew need to know that Larry's family and friends, me included, have had to beat this into Larry's hand. He ain't changed. He ain't did this circle by himself, honey. We have had a foot on his neck.
That's true.
Because his awesomeness will go to the extreme. His
That's
awesomeness will go to the awesomeness. And we both got ate up because we similar in that way. And we took heat from giving the Tasha K's of the world a chance. But that's because that's who we are. Like, there were other content creators that the bridges were burnt to. And people told me, like, CTV, stay away from him, stay away from her, etc. And this is what I want people to understand. There's no absolute way to know objectively what you're picking out of any bag, especially when you're in the business of social media and your business is people. Your actual business is people. Your purpose is people. Your purpose, your God-given purpose, is dealing with people. It's almost like victim blaming sometimes when things go left, as if we can always control what other people do with their opportunity to get to know us or their opportunity to interact with us. I'm not responsible for all the fuck shit that somebody will bring just because I gave them the opportunity to build, etc. If they take that opportunity and they're completely left, that's on them. And there's no real way to like move through that, which is why none of us can 100% avoid negative outcomes. None of us can do it. Not one human being. There ain't one person in this chat who's managed to pick every wonderful human being in the litter. Not one of us. We've all have picked. We've made terrible choices romantically. We have a lot with relatives we had to let go of at some point. Friends, acquaintances we had to let go of at some point. Like, it's not reality. Like, so yeah, like I have a humanity. I can't judge people based upon like superficial things. In my life, if people approach me, I'm going to treat Unhinged the way that I would treat anybody else who's emailing me. When she put me on the platform and I did not have a formal relationship to her, I treat her like I would anybody else who would DM me or anybody who would contact me. I mean, she's a person reaching out. I don't know.
So I interrupt, and I need to go stay. I go to funeral tomorrow, and Marco done put me down to pray. I think it's a setup.
Period.
To give people the world of how I'm gonna say we are, but this may not be a fit for you, but I know it is for me. If I had not made some choices last year, me and Tasha K will be talking right now. Me and Whitehead will be talking right now. Me and the accuser will be talking right now. Because I give people chance after chance. You say you sorry, and I know you sorry, I forgive you. And I let you turn around and do it to me again. I'm gonna give you perspective. There are people who have left me and did me dead, dirty wrong, but it's not on social media. Betrayed my trust, took my stuff, stole my money, and y'all don't know nothing about it. And I forgave them, took them back in. So if I hadn't made decisions in my brain, not my heart, because I'm keeping my heart because it got me here, but just made some changes in my mind, that will be, y'all will be watching me deal like that again. But I've had some shifting in my mind, and I understand some things. So now wisdom is even guiding and guarding my heart. So that is how serious it is. Y'all, there have been people that have done some of the worst, the most. I won't say it because then the
Oh,
person
y'all, if only they
is
knew.
serious,
If only they knew.
and I just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it Phyllis. That's right. Oh, so you in Patreon, so you know about it. You watch the accounts that take me through that too. I have boundaries. My heart hasn't changed, but I have boundaries.
Absolutely, and should because anything good requires a certain level of protection and safety.
Preach.
So I'm glad that you have resurrected boundaries as a result of, certain repeated experiences trying to teach you that, yes, people with a lot to give need to be more mindful of other people's proximity to them because everybody is not sincere.
You said, okay, Lady Jenny said Lamar was wrong. I did learn until he published a whole stuff account. See, I don't need people to publicly hold them. I don't need that. I understand that, Lady Janice. Thank you. But I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that from nobody. I don't. I want everybody to just leave me alone. I don't leave me alone. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because it triggered me up to want to say something to you. You know, and I can't in the position that I am right now. Yeah, because it'll be too big of a blessing to some people. I don't even really think they deserve it. But I don't need him to do that. I would much rather if me, him, and Conscious got on the phone, he just understand. Then nigga, I won't coming for you. I was responding to you. And number one, I believed it was a real robbery. And I said it in my original post that went viral.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just be clear on that. And I might even bring up, bruh, you just took anything that another vlogger gave you and just repeated it and regurgitated all that stuff. And didn't even care about no evidence. Or not even evidence, just to make sure facts lined up with facts.
But that's because Bishop is a hurt person. So he only knows how to respond by people being hurtful.
I got that.
Yeah. He's hurt. He hasn't healed a lot of his own trauma. And he's almost kind of rationalized like trauma responses. He's like almost normalized it and created a space to see those things that's healthy and a part of masculinity and manhood. And he's like put a justification to what is trauma responses. And I didn't tell him this on the phone because I just didn't feel like it was a time and place. And I wasn't there to really go back and forth with him per se about anything. So, I didn't mind.
Well, I'm interested in, and you ain't got to admit, what was it you was calling him for to get verification on? And you need to tell us that, T, or that's something you're going to tell us later on.
That'll be later on. I mean, unless y'all really want to know, but I mean,
you can say before when it needs to be done. I mean, as long as we know it's coming down the pipe.
Me speaking, I mean, do you think I should?
You text me first.
My phone was dead, so I have to inbox. I have to hold on. I have to Instagram. I'm about to DM you.
How convenient now that the Bishop and Tasha has fallen apart, so now you can be friends with him. Oh my God, it's the fakeness for me. Okay, Blueberry.
I just sent you a message too.
Blueberry, let me say this to you, Blueberry. Ain't nobody said nothing about friends, you dizzy hoe. You're just making up shit. Anybody said that to you? You just making it up. Anybody say nothing about no friends? We talking about a conversation. But because you dumb as hell and don't listen, then you're gonna come in here saying that. And see this, a lot of the stuff that go on between these people is y'all in the chat that keep shit go. Oh, get me off this internet. I got to go prophesy.
Check you need to check your messages. I just sent you a DM.
I can't stand folk with that messy stuff. Your ears don't work. Ain't nobody said that. See, that's why I can't.
They don't. Let me tell you something, Larry. I made a post a few weeks ago on my community wall. I was willing to give $100 to anyone who could identify this song on episode 2 of season 11 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Do you know 1 trillion people, damn near 75 people, between my emails, commenting under the post, and messaging me on Instagram, all sent me the artist's name, the name of the song with their cash apps included. And do you know that all 75 people were dead ass wrong? They didn't. I'm like,
people don't listen.
Yeah, look, like, did you listen to the song? Because if you listen to the artist you sent me and the song you sent me, you would know these are 2 different songs. Why would you even waste your time sending me this? This is clearly not the song.
Yeah.
Even when I gave clear instructions and everybody had to utilize their listening skills, how everybody who listened wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even listen at all, apparently. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let me see. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to wait until it comes down the pipeline. I may speak about what I initially spoke to the bishop about, but maybe not.
No, it's whatever. Yeah. I just got, since you gave me the power, I got rid of Blueberry because she done said something that's stupid. It's probably a troll.
If I got any moderators, I'll block the hell out of whoever.
I done got rid of. Oh, I dragged the man every single day. I said, you definitely are a troll. But that don't happen.
Larry just explained that he made a choice and got down and mocked. All right, not even mocked, demonstrated the way that he felt Bishop out on the floor. Bishop made a choice to get up, confront. They both apologized. Bishop continued to speak negatively and make comments in other interviews. And it just was a back and forth. It was just a boomerang. They sparred off and it just spiraled. There's nothing to say.
And I understand that because sometimes my comedy is a little dark. It can go a little dark or inappropriate. So no problem.
You're an Aquarius, so you have the capacity to be just all you have the capacity to be qualified for divorce. That's why we understood Lisa's decision.
Okay, now you saying that. I ain't gonna say that.
See, you already a man of wrong.
I walk across the street right now to that hotel. Yeah, we down the fifth funeral, and knocked on that door and said, "What's up?" All of a sudden, she can be butt naked and in the bed.
My God, get off my live, doctor.
Don't forget now.
Get off my live and thank you for this damn exclusive. Okay? And look, you might need to prepare yourself for a private 3-way conversation with.
I don't mind that. I don't mind
that. That may just pop out,
but it needs to be private. It's not something we come in here and talk about.
Absolutely.
I mean, it between
conversations go much better privately,
and he would have to understand that I'm a commentator. So if he get arrested and thrown in jail, I'm going to talk about it. Yeah. I ain't gonna drag him, but I'm just gonna talk. I'm just gonna talk about it and go on to the next step. I'm not gonna make it my topic for the next 2-3 weeks. I'm not gonna do that.
Right. Well, what if he said to you, if me and you are going to be acquainted, Larry, how about I prefer you not to commentate on me? Is it really that you have to? Because don't you
Mm.
have a choice in what goes on your docket? If what would
Oh.
keep the peace between us is you not commentating on me. And if that's something that really bothers me, something that really just offends me, because I would never commentate on you. I would never take my 1 million followers on Instagram because of something going on in the media with you. And even if I wouldn't even bother with using the word allegedly. I just wouldn't even touch it just out of respect. What if he
No,
said that to you?
that's not respect. That's control. Now, I wouldn't ask nobody to do that for me, and I wouldn't do it for nobody, especially if it's their job to do commentary. You have to be committed to your audience and to your craft. And if you are viral and you got something going on, people want to hear your commentary on it, and they want to be in your chat and everybody in their community talking about it with each other. I can't make nobody that promise. I can't do that. And that's one of the reasons why. And thank you for this, because let me get down into that vibration thing. When I met him, something in me felt like if I got close to him, he will want me to be favorable in everything I say towards him, and he couldn't take my honesty. See, everybody's in my life, I could call names that we all know. They know that I am going to say my point of view on them, but I love them. My own mentor, I've been on my platform and Patreon on the outside. I'm like, he do that. I don't go with all that. I don't believe all that. But this right here, and he knows that about me, and he gives me that we have a real relationship. Anybody in my life, they're gonna have to be okay with my opinion. Of course, if I know you, I'm probably not gonna be. My jokes probably ain't gonna be as you know.
With it.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna do jokes on you.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And look, you the same person who published Lisa
And
beating the hell out of y'all daughter.
she told me not to. I says, my show, my camera. If you're gonna benefit from what I do, you're gonna be a part of it.
Part of what I do. that is such a masculine attitude. That is such an old masculine attitude.
And you know what she said? Roll her eye. I'm like, okay.
She got with it. She got with it.
Yeah, that's look.
Amen.
I'm a whole alpha male in every way, shape, and form in my bit, especially in business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. I think that's perfectly balanced. Like that if I'm a commentate if I want to commentate, but your proximity to me it does give you some leverage. Like I'm not going to necessarily talk about you like a dog, if I'm adjacent to you in some kind of way, but you will make the docket and you will get my opinion. But I may curve how people I don't know, period, and I don't have no relationship to. My commentary may be a little bit more revved up, but yeah, I think that's fair.
And you're honest about that. That's the reason why folk. We may not have the multiple millions of subscribers, but that's why when we ask the people, look, will y'all donate? They donate. They move because as long as we stay real and honest.
Yeah.
Then all of our connections with all of our followers are going to be real and honest, and they're going to feel it. Folk ain't stupid. They're not stupid like that. Somebody just said in the chat, talking about, what I said, talking about that he said that I don't talk about him because he got stuff on me. Listen, I'm not talking about him because he's not relevant anymore in social media. I mean, what if he do something, has some crazy things going on? I will talk about it. I mean, but it's not interesting. The last thing that was interesting that I talked about him concerning, I think, was the Tarsha stuff. It ain't been nothing since then. Or was it when he got arrested? No, it was when he got indicted. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, because everything else after that has just been like petty social.
Yeah, and I ain't doing that.
There ain't really been no movement, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the folk to be in the chat with the fool la la.
I know. Take your ass to bed, doctor.
Okay, I'm about to go to bed. I gotta get up. Pray for Mako.
I will. Yes, he got our prayers and our love, and you don't forget your options as well.
Say again.
That's it, and don't forget about your options.
My option? What you mean?
I had texted you earlier.
Wait a minute.
Just go back in your text messages. Go to bed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, that's why I said read your text.
Oh, you stupid!
Go to bed. Bye. Good night. Okay, so once again, y'all, listen very well, okay? The doctor's saying that he's open to a conversation with the bishop. That would have to be private and would have to involve a third party, aka me. It's not a open door to friendship. Don't get it fucked up and don't conflate the two. A conversation about the bullshit that has transpired would be no different than Thais and Jives getting up here attempting to have a conversation. It would be no different than me and Jives getting up here and having the conversation that we needed to have over time. It would be no different than all the reconciliation y'all have seen over time. Tasha K and Storm coming together on this here platform, girl. We done had so many Iyanla moments, etc. It's a conversation. Larry is not interested in being friends. I think the door for friendship is open, but because he's a man, there can always be a conversation. Because once again, some of y'all are gonna let this shit send y'all to hell. Y'all gonna let y'all dumb shit send y'all to hell. Other people not going to hell over bullshit. Once again, you know, some people are not clear about the fact that like they want to be their persona, while some of us are clear that this is, for me, this is entertainment. I have a persona. I give my real opinion. And then when I turn this shit off and I have to have real engagement with people, I'm an actual whole human being with an entire humanity. I'm not being a bad bitch when I'm dealing with people in a real context. When I'm commentating and I'm up here, it's up, it's stuck, it's whatever. But my actual reality does not involve carrying on like a fucking banshee, and doesn't involve pussy popping all day. Okay, it just involves being a whole human being, which is why for me too, I'm always open to reconciliation, always open to conversation. Well, not anymore. I'm actually not. But let me tell you what I have traded out. When shit go left, matter of fact, let's talk about it, bitch. While I'm here, I'm so glad because this whole thing didn't open up a whole shit. So a few days ago, what's today? Today is Saturday. A few fucking days ago. Do I want to say names? Or just talk about the situation? Because baby, folks so fucking messy and trifling and stupid and dense and dumb. What do I want to say names? Do I want to put an address on it, bitch? I just refer to the situation because the bitch involved in the situation ain't worth a damn. So it ain't like it's necessary, girl. The point is the situation, which is the principal child. Okay, so I ain't gonna drop no names. So let's not drop no names. A few nights ago, I was on my platform and I was scrolling, and there was, you know, like sometimes in your algorithm, like you get random motherfuckers in your algorithm because the algorithm be algorithming, girl. And there was a particular video that had my name in the title. And the video was like from a very small content creator. It had very like small views on it. But the video had to do with someone that I had considered a friend making a statement about my platform. And you guys know I do not utilize the word friend fucking loosely, especially not when it comes to these social media bitches at all. In terms of other content creators, like I don't use that term at all. So, but this particular person that this content creator was speaking about, and they were kind of talking about, this comment that they had made about my platform. And I was like, oh, like this was one of the girls that I actually like really, really, really considered a friend. And this person, it wasn't the comment itself that bothered me, because the comment was, I didn't even go there either. It wasn't the comment that bothered me, but it was the like you having the audacity to even say any disrespectful thing about my platform when you are a motherfucker who got your rent paid on this platform. You are a motherfucker who got your fucking mobility repaired on this platform. You are a motherfucker who your lights, your water, your everything has ran successfully. You've been able to manage your rent as a result of the power and the influence and the space that I've created here amongst Conscious crew members. And for you to have the unmitigated gall, because we don't fuck with each other, to put your fucking mouth on a platform that's led by a person that did nothing but support you in every single fucking way, emotionally, spiritually, financially. I came out of my own fucking bra and didn't even bring the Conscious crew into donating. I pulled out of my own bosom, out of my own personal funding at times, have been on the phone for hours, have nothing but literal fucking support. And then what caused the termination of the friendship was your bullshit. And then to take your raccoon head ass on to make any comment that could be considered disparaging, disrespectful, misaligning, etc. on a platform and a person that has done nothing but benefit you. At first, it almost hurt my feelings. I was up in this bitch like, I started to go into that space of I'm not helping nobody. I'm not doing shit for nobody. Nobody don't do shit for me. I ain't doing nothing because I'm the one always doing the most. I'm the hostess who does the motherfucking mostest. I'm always the one putting the cape on for motherfucking niggas. I'm always the motherfucking one going all the way up. Girl, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, bitch, it's CTV. Cape on. And then to turn around, whether we on good terms or bad terms, to have anything unnecessary and disrespectful and negative to say, it's just you being a trash ass motherfucker. Just a trash, the base, bottom feeding ass motherfucker. And the fact that when I fall out with these hoes, especially people that I really consider friend, girl, I don't even have no follow-up commentary. I let it be, bitch. I don't dox. I don't get up here and disparage them. No, nothing. Y'all don't even be knowing where the situation be at. Because I don't even bring it here. Even though I could. I can make it content. Like a motherfucker would choose to put their raggedy ass mouth. On my shit, and for what? Because at the end of the day, bitch, whatever disrespectful shit you got to say about a platform that's been nothing but God given to you, let's pull the reversal, bitch. What has your platform ever done for me? What impact has your platform ever had as it relates to a benefit to me? Not none. So what are we talking about? What you dealing with to where you need to say it to your itty bitty ass audience and you can't really say it to me where it really counts? What's going on in you? How much of a fool do you think you don't fucking look? Because all those live streams are still here on my platform. How stupid do you look? Speaking in a negative way about someone who has not done that to you, allowed you to have your temper tantrum and go on into oblivion, into obscurity. But then as I sat in my feelings and I started to internalize that shit and take that shit personally, just because I had a real relationship to this person, God started to speak to me and say, CTV, this ain't about you, bitch. Get about your feelings. They didn't disrespect you. They disrespected me. I'm the one working through you. You, the vessel. They might be directed, they misguided shit towards you. But that the base bitch being ungrateful, immature, out of order, ain't unto you, it's unto me, God. And then I had to humble myself and realize, you're absolutely right, God. My goodness is not about you. Whatever good is in me is an extension of my proximity to you. So when I'm disrespected for being nothing but fucking good, fair, loving, and genuine, and a motherfucker takes that and wipe their ass with it, they didn't wipe their ass with me. They wiped their ass with God, and that's exactly why they end up predicament and they suffer the lack in which they do to begin with, and they live a curse they live a life that's equivalent to being that of curse. Because, bitch, you offending the Most High that's reflected in me and projected onto you. So let me take myself out of the equation, baby. You disrespected the Lord and the goodness of the multiverse. I'm not going to sit here and internalize that shit. I'm going to sit here and realize this why you be in this situation over 10 and over 10 and over 10 and over 10 and over 10 unto yourself in what you do. In what you be, bitch. In what you be. That's why you a struggle bitch tonight. That's why you always been a struggle bitch. You was a struggle bitch then. You a struggle bitch now. Because of your disrespect and dishonor of God, which is reflected and demonstrated and shows up as your disrespect of people, good people. And then when I sat down and processed all that and arranged all of that and had that revelation downloaded into me, I realized, yeah, this is exactly how the enemy creeps in by telling you don't turn the other cheek. Don't turn. Give that bitch that work. And I can't do that. I can't use you to feel bad and to feel angry and to feel sad, because the only reason I am sustaining my blessings is because I'm being a blessing. Even unto undeserving bitches like the motherfuckers who have the unmitigated gall to put their raggedy ass open throat super soaker dick sucker on a good thorough ass bitch who is a safety net for these niggas in real life. Y'all see how the fuck I get down and give it up for my niggas online, bitch. Just imagine what goes on offline. Y'all see how I be, how committed I am. Y'all see how much of a warrior I am, baby. Y'all see how sacrificial a bitch is. Y'all have seen it with your own eyes. And if that's what is given virtually, girl, that's only a third of the picture, bitch. You ain't even seeing the entire reality. So I don't take this shit personal now. I realize that, bitch, you the one blowing your blessing. I'm the one who gonna continue to be a blessing and be blessed. And no, bitch, I'm not gonna use you as an excuse to misalign my fucking relationship because, baby, I like this vibe. I like not having to do the things that I have to do for other people. I like not being other people. I like not being in their predicament, in their situation. And the only fucking reason I don't have to be where the people I have to help is because I choose to be decent, even unto the most disrespectful and diabolical of their ass. So when Larry is talking about having a conversation, that may look like, girl, what the fuck? But think about where Larry is and where you at. Larry is rich and has amassed wealth and can build up an entire community and put his entire family on and employ the people that he loves and around him and create generational wealth. And he's not able to have access to that level of blessing because he's willing to be a petty bitch. See, when you're receiving big blessings from God, it's easier to have those ego deaths over and over again and to not have to take yourself that fucking seriously. When you realize how good God is to you, it makes you want to be even greater unto other people. So you got a greater capacity to forgive. You got a greater capacity to be compassionate and empathetic. When you experience God saying yes to the things that you want, that shit humbles some people rather than turn them into egoic, narcissistic maniacs. For some people, as they get more, they become more humbled. When you see that shit that Christ be teaching, bitch, bleed out into reality and become your literal life because you live in that shit, yeah, you ain't gonna give that up for a Bishop fucking Whitehead. And that's why y'all don't see me out here fighting the same way that some bitches are fighting with me. I can't do what other hoes do. I can't get on this bitch and dox. I can't get on this motherfucker and menace and harass motherfuckers. Why? Because as soon as I get to, bitch, I'm gonna lose those blessings that God blessing me with. And being blessed means more to me than fighting with these motherfucking hoes, because a drag is enough for me and it's fulfilling to me. And half the time, I don't even gotta do that because I'm feeling too good in all actuality to even take on that type of fucking energy toward a dumb bitch. That's how I know that misery really loves motherfucking company. Because when you start really getting what you want out of life, bitch, you can be tardy for the party. You can afford to make them wait on it. You ain't got to be in a hurry when you bless. You ain't got to be running around like a chicken with your motherfucking head cut off, bitch. You can go to sleep in a room full of noise. Some of us are really fucking happy because God is giving us a whole lot of yes and amen. Other people so far away from that throne, girl, that they might as well be as miserable and as low vibrational as, because they ain't got shit to lose. And what they have is very little. So they don't have no fucking motivation to be upright. They ain't got no motivation to not be with the pussy popping. Motherfuckers who getting big yeses from God. Yeah, baby. No, ma'am. I'm not giving that shit up for these whores. Not at all. For what? I'm not invested enough in Whitehead, just like I wasn't invested enough in Unhinged, baby, to not be able to be decent to these folk. I told Whitehead that I'm going to report what's being reported, and I'm going to continue to be fair and, you know, And I'll be decent, but you know, I'm gonna do what I do as a commentator. But you know, the reason why I ain't having to fight no fucking lawsuit is because I don't participate in slander. I'm very clear about what I have a right to say and believe and what will fall into slanderous categories. You know, but I'm not here to be nasty. I'm not here to be a bitch. Some people here to be a bitch. Some people here to be what the fuck, and that's your business. That's your business all day long, baby. That just ain't my business. Them your shoes. Them ain't my shoes, baby. Okay? That's your swag. That ain't my swag, baby. That's your bag. That ain't my bag. Okay? It's a lot of motherfuckers who with the shits. All of them. Big shits. You know, it ain't that deep to me, bitch. I'm here to be a commentator. I want to have fun. I want to grow an audience. I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to cut up. We're going to get into all type of shit. We're going to have all type of motherfucking conversation. And then I take my ass home. And I go enjoy the other shit that God is doing for me. So, Bishop, that was the conversation. And I ain't got nothing else to say. Yeah, I know. That was the review, girl. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much, Miss Cheryl, for a life-changing word. Thank you. And see, these be the people that I'm really here for. I'm really my initiative in coming on to social media was spiritual work. That's what I initially started doing. That was my original content. It took me years to transition into celebrity entertainment and all of that. So that's the impact I want. I want people to get a word, people to get wisdom, people to feel stimulated. I'm here for the real shit. Okay? That's my base. The celebrity shit is just the bait. And thank you, Ricard. Thank you, Miss Jackson. Hey, Miss Ann Jackson. Thank you, baby. God bless y'all. So it was nice to interact with the bishop outside of commentating on him, you know, and to actually pull up on him. And while we are not friends and we are on opposite ends of the argument, you know, I'm glad that we were able to have a fair exchange, and it beats what it beats. So the bishop said he got more lawsuits coming. So bitches better get ready, girl, and get their paper up, girl. Once again, the bishop said he ready for the swinging and banging, girl. Don't expect him he not gonna conform to y'all expectations. He not gonna act like the Christian y'all think he should act like. He's going to do what the fuck he feels he has a right to do. He gonna stand up for himself. He gonna sling mud. He gonna talk about you. He gonna do whatever he want to do. Like he gonna respond. He gonna respond. So, yeah, he ain't listening to y'all about none of that. You ain't no real pastor. He don't give a fuck. He gonna be who he is. So if you gonna deal with him, you gonna talk about him, then just know, girl. He not gonna. Just know, girl. You gonna. What you see is what you get, period. He don't give a damn about none of that fucking advice and none of that criticism, etc. He is who the fuck he is. And that be's what it is. So, yeah. I'm going to get my ass out of here. Shout out to the doctor for coming through. And it's a lot of shit going on, girl. It's a lot of shit going on. But, yeah, for those who want to stay on his neck, stay on his motherfucking neck, girl. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's all fair game. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how his case turns out, child. And I'm curious to know what are we going to think as a public if Bishop beats these charges? What's next? If he walks What's next? What's next? What's next? If it takes years, if his case plays out for, shit, until 2025, are we staying with it that long? Like, what's good? Because if he walks, he's going to make social media eat it. He's never going to let social media play it and live it down, baby. Never. If he walks, baby. If he gets to retain that freedom, he probably don't mind paying no restitution. But if he gets to walk, if he gets to be out here in these streets, baby, it's going to be hell to pay. If he gets to sustain that motherfucking freedom, girl, okay? It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. So I'm out of here. And another thing is, Jaguar Wright just pulled up on the platform, a week ago. When I saw her in my green room, I deleted her ass. She came back. So I brought her up. She was mad that I deleted her. That I removed her from the green room, girl. Threw her back into the jungles. And she was, I can't believe you. I can't believe you. I can't believe you kicked me out. Why you can't believe it, baby? I done gave several disclaimers on this platform that I'm not interested in talking to you. But when she came back, I was like, she really wants to talk. And I said, let me not be CTV. Let me be Davion. She really, really want to have this moment. So I let her up. And I was able to tell her what I feel and give her the space to say what she wanted to say. And then that was that. That was that. Wasn't looking for a moment. Could have made a moment. Could have performed. But, I once again am very clear about my real self and my persona being two different things. I don't try to be the persona. I don't try to identify as the persona. If I feel like a moment calls for me to be just a person, I'm going to be a person. There's a time and a place for everything. But what I'm not willing to be is a real life asshole. I'm not willing to be a real life bitch. I'm not willing to be a real life whatever. I'd rather please God. So I'm always going to be willing to be decent. And I've grown even to the point now to where I don't even beef anymore. I let people spin the fucking narrative, girl. Spin it up, run it up. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because the people going to love me anyway. And they don't give a fuck. And they know what's up and what's stuck. I don't have nothing to prove no more. It's for the new bitches coming in who gotta figure it out. I ain't gotta do none of that. I'm solidified. So it's just it's just up. It's just rolling, girl. Okay? I'll defend other motherfuckers before I defend myself. Let them hoes make their fucking money. Let them get their views up, girl. Let them do what they gotta do. Let them do what they gotta do, girl. They're out here working, girl. Let them work the scroll, honey. Let them get it how the fuck they live and live how the hell you get it. This is entertainment. And this is something else about Bishop. Because I'm clear about the fact that I'm a growing public figure, I'm up for grabs too, bitch. I'm up to be talked about. I'm subjected to scrutiny. I'm subjected to controversy. It comes with the fucking picture. It comes with the picture. I don't believe in fighting because you can. Going to war just because you can. You have to accept that if you in this space and you afford yourself to talk about other motherfuckers have the right to afford themselves to talk about your motherfucking ass, for better or for fucking worse. And my attitude is, if you can't take the heat, then you need to stay the fuck up out the kitchen. So that's why I don't get up on this motherfucker telling people don't talk about me and crying and shit and having breakdowns and heart attacks and going into cardiac arrest and shit. Spin it up. 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 Run it. Run it. Because there's only more where this shit came from, baby. What you gonna do when you got 1,000 fucking comments under a neighborhood talk? What you gonna do when you got a whole motherfucking... Let me move this fucking chair. When you got a whole fucking comment section under the shade room about your bitch, like anybody who really is here and knows that they have the potential to pop all the way off, you have to take this shit as a training ground. You got to loosen up, baby. You got to learn to laugh at yourself. You got to learn to enjoy some of the sick shit that goes on, because it's always going to be there. The polarity always going to exist. If you can be loved, you can be hated. If you can be woed, you can be demonized. The pendulum will swing. It doesn't give a... You can spend your whole life hating the other side of the pendulum. Ain't no point in warring against it. Why you think Christ didn't give a fuck about them hoes? When they asked him who the fuck he was, girl, it was on Mutiana, girl, on mute, Miss Mute. Bitch, you tell me. You hoes got the answer to everything else, bitch. Clearly, you don't really need me to really inform you, do you? So, take that same arrogance, girl, and just create your narrative. That's what you're gonna do any fucking way. Why ask me who I really am? Why ask me what's really going on when you're gonna put your own twisted, ridiculous ass narrative and spin on it, bitch? So just spin, bitch. Spinderella, spin it on, Spinderella. Spin, twirl, bitch. Twirl, twirl, girl. Twirl. Don't even bother. I won't even bother. Girl, just twirl. Twirl and girl and girl and twirl. So I think that it's a big lesson for Bishop. You a public figure. It's okay to not be invested in everything. If you're really happy and you're really blessed, then there is a peace about yourself, baby. Okay? And it's okay to just leave it alone and reserve your shit for your good. So I hope the bishop, he's old enough to be teaching us really how to do the social media shit, but I hope that he finds the peace he needs and he finds the things he needs, and he can really, really transform his life and be a true blessing to his community and let his past be the past and really move on, you know, into things that will genuinely garner respect and compliment and affection from his community. Yeah, no. And you know, hope that for everybody. So I'm gonna take my ass to bed. I love y'all. And y'all be blessed. I'm out. Bye.